Imagine for a moment that everything around you, the stars above, the ground beneath your feet, the very air you breathe, might not simply exist as objects, separate and lifeless, but as participants in something greater. What if the universe itself, in all its vast complexity, were aware? Not conscious in the way you are, with thoughts and feelings like a human mind, but in a more subtle, pervasive way. A kind of awareness that flows through matter, energy, and time. This idea, strange as it sounds, has fascinated philosophers and scientists for centuries, and today it begins to feel less like science fiction and more like a serious inquiry into the nature of reality. The notion that consciousness is fundamental, perhaps more fundamental than matter itself, is called panpsychism. Derived from the Greek words pan, meaning all, and psyche, meaning soul or mind, it suggests that consciousness, in some form, is present throughout the universe. Not just in humans or animals, not just in brains, but embedded in the very fabric of reality. At first glance, this can feel absurd. Rocks, water, stars. How could they possess anything like awareness? But if we expand our definition of consciousness to mean a kind of proto-awareness or capacity to experience, suddenly the universe begins to look more alive than we ever imagined. Consider the example of a tree. From a scientific standpoint, a tree is a collection of cells, tissues, and chemical processes. Yet trees sense their environment, react to threats, communicate with each other through networks of fungi beneath the soil, and even seem to anticipate seasonal changes. If these behaviors are signs of intelligence or awareness on a human scale, might it be possible that there's a form of consciousness here too, one tuned to the life of a tree rather than a human? And if trees, why not the rocks they root in, the rivers they drink from, the mountains that surround them? Panpsychism challenges the rigid hierarchy that places humans at the top of awareness and everything else at the bottom. Philosophers such as Alfred North Whitehead, a 20th century thinker, went further than this. He imagined reality as a series of interconnected events, each with its own experience. In his view, atoms and subatomic particles are not mere objects, but occasions of experience, constantly interacting and responding to one another. The building blocks of the universe, then, might be more like tiny minds than inanimate matter. Each collision of particles, each ripple of energy, could be a moment of awareness, contributing to a cosmic tapestry far richer than we usually conceive. Modern physics, too, hints at ideas that resonate with this perspective. Quantum mechanics, with its strange phenomena, particles existing in multiple states simultaneously, the observer effect, the entanglement of distant particles, challenges the notion of a purely material universe. Some interpretations suggest that consciousness may play a role in shaping reality itself. If observation is necessary to collapse probabilities into events, could awareness be woven into the fundamental fabric of the cosmos, guiding its unfolding in ways we barely perceive? This doesn't mean the universe is thinking like a human, but it hints at an intimacy between mind and matter, a subtle dance in which consciousness is not a byproduct, but a co-creator. Beyond philosophy and physics, there's the psychological and experiential side of this exploration. Many people have reported moments of profound connection, when the boundaries between self and world dissolve. A person standing under a night sky, watching countless stars shimmer across the void, might feel a sense of recognition, as though the universe is looking back. Meditative traditions, mystical experiences, even certain psychedelic journeys suggest that awareness can be felt on scales that extend beyond the individual mind. Could these experiences be glimpses of a larger consciousness, the mind of the cosmos brushing against our own? If the universe is conscious, what might that consciousness be like? Some imagine it as an unfathomably vast mind, with no center or singular focus, perceiving not through eyes or ears, but through the totality of existence. Others propose a fractal model, consciousness nested within consciousness, a hierarchy stretching from the tiniest particles to galaxies and beyond. In this view, your thoughts, however small, are threads woven into a larger awareness, rippling through the cosmos in ways we cannot yet measure. It's natural to wonder, if consciousness is everywhere, why does the universe not speak to us more clearly? One possibility is scale. Human awareness is adapted for survival, for navigating our small corner of reality. The consciousness of a star or a planet or a quantum field might operate on timescales and in patterns we cannot perceive. Its thoughts or experiences could be subtle, diffuse, imperceptible to our senses, yet integral to the unfolding of existence. Like a whisper in a language we cannot decode, the universe may be constantly communicating, but we hear only fragments. This idea also reframes the meaning of matter. If consciousness is fundamental, perhaps matter is not inert, but is infused with experience. Atoms, electrons, photons, they are not just passive bits of energy. They participate in a cosmic awareness that gives rise to everything we know. Life, then, is not a lucky accident, but an expression of an underlying awareness striving to become more complex, more reflective, more aware of itself. In this sense, your own consciousness could be both a spark and a mirror of a vast, universal mind, connected across time and space in ways that defy comprehension. It's important to note that panpsychism is not universally accepted, and it faces significant challenges. Critics ask, how does simple awareness in particles combine to produce complex consciousness in humans? How can we test or measure such a subtle phenomenon? Yet even these questions open new avenues of thought. Perhaps consciousness does not need to add up in a conventional sense. Perhaps it exists as layers, nested and interwoven, with human experience representing just one particular pattern within a larger, ineffable field. Even if we cannot prove it empirically, the perspective invites us to reimagine reality, to approach existence not as a collection of lifeless objects, but as a web of subtle awareness stretching in all directions. Throughout history, humans have sought ways to connect with this larger reality. Art, music, poetry, and ritual often attempt to express what lies beyond words. The feeling that life is more than survival, that the universe itself is a living, breathing presence. Even our scientific pursuit of understanding, when stripped of ego and ambition, is a way of listening, of tuning into patterns that may hint at consciousness beyond ourselves. Each discovery, each glimpse of cosmic order or chaos, may be akin to eavesdropping on a conversation between the universe and itself. As we consider these ideas, it is tempting to anthropomorphize, to imagine the universe thinking, feeling, and desiring like we do. Yet panpsychism encourages a subtler approach. The consciousness of the cosmos may be alien in ways we cannot fully grasp. It may not have intentions or goals as humans understand them. Instead, it may simply exist, as awareness exists, flowing through matter and energy in a form that is continuous, pervasive, and eternal. And perhaps, in moments of deep reflection, in the stillness of night or the quiet of a forest, we catch a fleeting sense of that awareness brushing against our own. The implications are staggering. If consciousness permeates everything, then existence itself becomes participatory. The universe is not merely a stage upon which life unfolds, it is an active, aware presence, co-creating and experiencing alongside us. Every act, every perception, every thought may be a point of contact with a greater mind, a reminder that we are not isolated observers, but components of a living whole. This perspective also shifts our understanding of life and death. If awareness is fundamental, it does not begin with birth nor end with physical decay. Individual minds may emerge, flourish, and dissolve, but the underlying awareness persists, threaded through the cosmos in patterns too vast and subtle for us to fully perceive. Life, then, is a moment of reflection within an eternal sea of awareness, a fleeting point of light glimpsing the infinite. Perhaps most intriguingly, this idea invites us to consider our role in the cosmos differently. If consciousness is everywhere, then we are not merely passive inhabitants, but co-creators, participants in a vast, unfolding awareness. Our thoughts, our actions, our intentions may ripple outward, interacting with the consciousness of the universe in ways subtle but real. In this view, curiosity, wonder, and attention are not trivial. They are ways of engaging with the mind of existence itself. As we stand on the edge of understanding, we are faced with a choice: to see the universe as a mechanical, indifferent machine, or as a living, aware entity, infinitely more mysterious and profound than we have dared to imagine. Panpsychism does not provide easy answers. It does not map reality in neat formulas. Instead, it offers a lens through which to perceive the cosmos as alive, a vast network of awareness stretching from the tiniest quark to the farthest galaxy, and even perhaps beyond. And so, as we begin to explore this possibility, we are invited to let go of the familiar distinctions between mind and matter, self and world, observer and observed. The universe may not speak in words, but it whispers in patterns, in connections, in the quiet unfolding of existence. By opening our minds to the possibility that consciousness is everywhere, we begin to glimpse a reality that is not only stranger than we think, but stranger than we can think, yet intimately, inexplicably ours. If consciousness is woven into the universe, then it may not be limited to life as we know it. Perhaps it flows through galaxies, dances in the hearts of stars, and pulses in the silent spaces between worlds. To imagine this is to expand the boundaries of awareness beyond anything we normally conceive, to picture the cosmos itself as a living, responsive system, aware in ways both subtle and immense. The scales are staggering. Billions of galaxies, each with billions of stars, each star a furnace of nuclear fire. Could each celestial body carry a trace of awareness, a spark of perception in the vast darkness? Consider a star, for instance. To us, it is a ball of plasma, a nuclear engine radiating heat and light. But what if it is also a node of experience, sensing and responding in its own cosmic way? The fusion reactions within a star release immense energy, but energy itself might not be inert. It could be the medium through which awareness manifests on such scales. A star lives, burns, and dies, and in doing so, participates in a rhythm of awareness far beyond human comprehension. Perhaps when a star collapses into a supernova, it is not merely an explosion of matter, but a transformation of consciousness, an echo of awareness reverberating across space and time. On larger scales, galaxies may possess forms of perception too, though alien to our minds. Spiral arms, swirling clusters, and gravitational flows could represent patterns of awareness distributed across countless stars, planets, and dark matter. Imagine a galaxy sensing the gravitational pull of a neighboring galaxy, responding over millions of years with a slow dance of attraction, collision, and rebirth. In this framework, consciousness is not centralized but distributed, a network of interdependent processes, each element contributing to the perception of the whole. The universe may think in patterns, in cycles, in rhythms that unfold across incomprehensible spans of time, perceiving not as we do, but in a way appropriate to its scale and substance. Even planets, those seemingly inert spheres of rock and gas, may be nodes of awareness. Earth itself is an astonishing system of interwoven processes: geological, atmospheric, biological. Gaia theory, proposed by James Lovelock, suggested that the planet behaves almost like a self-regulating organism. Temperature, oxygen levels, ocean currents and ecosystems maintain balance, not by conscious thought as we know it, but through feedback loops that resemble awareness on a planetary scale. If the Earth can sense its own conditions and respond in ways that preserve life, perhaps its consciousness is a slow, patient observer, participating in the unfolding of existence in ways we can barely perceive. And what of the space between stars, between galaxies? We tend to think of the void as empty, a vacuum devoid of significance. Yet even the emptiest regions of space are filled with energy fluctuations, quantum fields, dark matter, and radiation. If consciousness is fundamental, these fields could carry the faintest trace of awareness, subtle enough that it only becomes perceivable when it interacts with more complex structures. Awareness, then, may not need brains or neurons to exist. It may be a property of the universe itself, intrinsic to existence, and present wherever reality unfolds. Some thinkers have speculated that the universe may even have a form of self-reflective consciousness, a cosmic mind capable of perceiving its own evolution. This does not imply human-like thought or intention, but a vast, distributed awareness that emerges naturally from the interactions of countless conscious events. Every particle, every wave, every quantum fluctuation could be a note in a symphony of awareness that spans the cosmos. Human consciousness, fleeting and fragile as it is, might be the universe glimpsing itself in a small mirror, a reflection of patterns that echo on scales far beyond our comprehension. Quantum mechanics offers tantalizing hints in this direction. The observer effect suggests that observation influences reality at the smallest scales. Entanglement connects particles across vast distances instantaneously. These phenomena raise profound questions about the relationship between consciousness and the material world. Could it be that awareness is not a byproduct of matter, but a fundamental component, guiding the interactions of the cosmos in ways we only begin to glimpse? Perhaps the universe is not only conscious, but conscious of itself, its own processes, and its own unfolding, in a way that is subtle, diffuse, and eternal. Philosophical perspectives complement these scientific musings. In Eastern traditions, for instance, the idea that the universe is alive and aware has been central for millennia. Hinduism speaks of Brahman, the ultimate reality and consciousness underlying everything. Buddhism emphasizes interdependence and the inseparability of self and cosmos. These frameworks suggest that awareness is not limited to humans or life, but is woven into the very structure of existence. They hint at a universe in which consciousness is a continuous flow, not confined by boundaries or species, but present wherever existence manifests. It is tempting to anthropomorphize these ideas, to imagine the cosmos thinking, planning, or feeling like a human. Yet true cosmic consciousness, if it exists, is likely alien beyond imagining. Its sense of time is incomprehensible. Its perception is not visual or auditory, but an integration of forces, patterns, and interactions across scales that dwarf our experience. Our human mind may grasp only fragments, like glimpsing a single thread in a tapestry that stretches across eternity. And yet, even these fragments can be profound. When we observe the stars, sense the rhythm of tides, or feel a sudden intuition, we may be brushing against this immense awareness, catching whispers of a mind that spans the universe. The notion of a conscious universe also invites reflection on life itself. Life may not simply emerge from inert matter by chance, but as a natural expression of an underlying awareness. The evolution of complexity, from single cells to conscious beings, could be seen as consciousness intensifying, exploring itself through forms capable of reflection and creativity. Human awareness may then be a localized lens through which the universe experiences its own existence, a point of perception that both observes and participates in the greater flow of cosmic awareness. Yet this raises difficult questions. If the universe is aware, why does it seem indifferent to suffering, to chaos, to the fleeting tragedies of life? Perhaps the scale is the answer. Cosmic consciousness may operate on dimensions and time frames that dwarf human concerns. Stars live and die in billions of years. Galaxies collide and reform in patterns we can barely perceive. The universe may not act with intention or morality as we understand it. Its awareness may be a process of existence itself, neither benevolent nor malevolent, simply present, perceiving and unfolding. Our own experience of consciousness, then, can be seen as a microcosm of the cosmos. Thoughts, emotions, sensations, they arise, interact, and dissipate, yet they are woven into a larger pattern. Just as particles carry traces of awareness, so too do we participate in a network of perception that transcends individuality. Perhaps the awareness we feel when we are most attuned, when we stand in awe of a sunset, feel the weight of silence, or sense a connection to all living things, is a reflection of the larger cosmic mind touching our own. The implications are profound. If consciousness is universal, then no action, no thought, no intention is isolated. Every interaction, from the smallest gesture to the largest scientific discovery, ripples through the fabric of awareness. This perspective fosters a deep sense of interconnection and responsibility, not in a moralistic sense, but in the recognition that we are threads in a vast, living network. Awareness flows through us as surely as it flows through stars and galaxies, linking us to the universe in ways both mysterious and intimate. Science, philosophy, and mysticism converge in this vision. Neuroscience studies the emergence of consciousness in the brain. Quantum physics hints at awareness at fundamental levels, and ancient traditions offer frameworks for perceiving the universe as alive. Each domain, in its own way, points toward a reality in which awareness is not rare or exceptional, but woven into the very fabric of existence. Panpsychism offers a lens through which to explore this possibility, encouraging us to consider that consciousness is not something we possess, but something in which we participate. In contemplating a universe suffused with awareness, we are invited to rethink our place in reality. We are not merely observers, isolated minds in a cold void. We are participants in a vast, unfolding consciousness. Our perceptions, intentions, and actions are nodes in a network that stretches across space and time, touching everything from the tiniest quark to the most distant galaxy. Every thought is an echo, every feeling a vibration, resonating within the larger mind of existence itself. Perhaps the most unsettling and also the most comforting idea is that the universe does not need our permission to be conscious. Its awareness is already present, whether we notice it or not. We are not the center of this mind, but we are part of it. And in our moments of reflection, of awe, of connection, we catch glimpses of something far greater, something eternal and immense, flowing through everything we see and feel. If consciousness is woven into the universe, then it may not simply reside in what we call life, but may emerge wherever matter and energy organize in ways capable of reflecting upon themselves. To imagine this is to see the cosmos not as a collection of inert objects, but as a web of interacting experiences, each one carrying a trace of awareness. In this framework, consciousness is not an emergent accident, but a fundamental feature of reality, present even at levels we cannot directly perceive. It is not only in minds like ours, but in the structures of matter, in the flow of energy, and perhaps in the very information that shapes existence. Consider information itself. In modern physics, information is no longer an abstract concept. It has been shown to have physical consequences. Black holes, for instance, are believed to store information about every particle that falls into them, encoded on their event horizons in ways that defy ordinary perception. This suggests that the universe keeps track of its own states, preserving and processing information across unimaginable scales. If information is fundamental, and if consciousness is deeply tied to awareness of patterns, then the universe may be remembering itself, in a sense, through the way information flows and interacts. Reality itself becomes a kind of living ledger, an ongoing process of self-observation. The notion that matter might carry consciousness is easier to grasp when we consider emergent phenomena on scales we understand. In the human brain, individual neurons are not conscious, yet their collective interaction gives rise to the vivid experience of awareness. Could a similar process occur elsewhere, on scales vastly larger or smaller? Particles, molecules, even entire planetary systems might interact in ways that generate proto-consciousness, a faint but real awareness that is amplified when conditions align. Complexity, then, is a medium through which the subtle consciousness of the universe becomes more perceptible, both to itself and, occasionally, to us. Panpsychism also invites us to reconsider the boundaries between life and non-life. If awareness is fundamental, then what we call inanimate objects are not entirely devoid of experience. They possess awareness in a form appropriate to their structure. A crystal, for example, organizes itself according to precise geometries, responding to environmental conditions with stability and order. These behaviors may reflect a form of proto-awareness, a capacity to experience the world in the simplest, most elemental sense. Even the vacuum of space filled with quantum fluctuations might possess a faint, diffuse awareness, participating in the ongoing dance of existence. This perspective has profound implications for our understanding of evolution. Life may not be an accidental arrangement of molecules, but a natural expression of the universe's inherent awareness. Complexity and self-reflection could emerge wherever conditions allow, not as random occurrences, but as part of an ongoing unfolding of consciousness itself. Life, then, becomes an amplifier, a way for the universe to observe and experience its own unfolding, reaching levels of awareness that diffuse fields of matter alone could never achieve. Each organism, each ecosystem, each mind participates in a vast process of cosmic perception, a multi-layered awareness stretching across space and time. Some theorists have taken these ideas even further, proposing that the universe may possess a kind of memory, a record of all interactions, all experiences, encoded in the patterns of energy and matter. Every collision of particles, every wave of light, every movement of a star could leave a trace, a subtle imprint that contributes to a growing archive of cosmic experience. This memory would not be conscious in a human sense, but it would preserve information in a way that allows the universe to respond to itself, to adapt, to evolve patterns of increasing complexity. In essence, the universe may learn in its own inhuman way through the intricate interplay of matter, energy, and awareness. The possibility of cosmic memory also raises questions about time. Human perception experiences time as a linear flow, past, present, future. But if consciousness pervades all levels of reality, perhaps time is not a strict sequence, but a network of interwoven events. Past and future may coexist as potentialities within this larger field of awareness, accessible not through ordinary perception, but through the subtle interconnections of matter, energy, and information. In this sense, every moment becomes both observer and observed, participant and witness, contributing to the ongoing narrative of the universe's consciousness. Quantum mechanics once again offers intriguing hints. The behavior of particles at the quantum level appears influenced by observation, measurement, and information. Could it be that awareness is embedded in the very rules of reality, influencing how potentialities resolve into events? If so, consciousness is not merely a phenomenon that emerges at certain levels of complexity, It is a principle, a law of existence that underlies the unfolding of everything we perceive. Awareness may be baked into the universe itself, shaping the flow of events and the structure of matter from the smallest scales to the largest. In considering these ideas, we are naturally drawn to questions of scale and scope. How might awareness at a quantum level relate to awareness at the level of planets, stars, or galaxies? One possibility is that consciousness is layered, fractal in nature. Small systems possess local awareness, large systems possess distributed awareness, and the interactions among them give rise to higher order patterns. Our own minds, nested within our bodies, nested within ecosystems, nested within planets and solar systems, may be local expressions of a larger universal awareness, a reflection of patterns that stretch across scales beyond our comprehension. Philosophically, this resonates with ideas that date back thousands of years. In some Eastern traditions, the cosmos is conceived as a single, living being, with consciousness flowing through all things. In modern philosophy, thinkers like David Chalmers and Thomas Nagel have questioned the materialist assumption that consciousness arises solely from physical complexity. Nagel famously asked what it is like to be a bat, emphasizing that subjective experience cannot be reduced to objective processes alone. Panpsychism extends this question, suggesting that all entities, in their own ways, possess some form of experience, even if we cannot directly comprehend it. The notion that the universe may be conscious also challenges the way we understand ourselves. Human consciousness is rare, fragile, and fleeting, yet it may be a local lens through which the universe observes and understands itself. Our thoughts, perceptions, and emotions are not isolated. They are nodes in a vast network of awareness, contributing to the unfolding of the cosmos. Creativity, reflection, and curiosity become not just personal endeavors, but acts of participation in a living, conscious universe. In this light, the search for meaning is not merely a human preoccupation, it is an echo of the universe's own drive toward self-awareness. Yet this vision is not without its paradoxes. If consciousness is everywhere, why does the universe appear indifferent at times? Why does suffering exist? Perhaps the scale of cosmic awareness is so vast that human concerns are but minor ripples. Cosmic consciousness may operate as a process of existence itself, neither benevolent nor malevolent, simply perceiving and interacting with the totality of being. It is a form of awareness that is profound, impartial, and beyond moral judgment, a backdrop against which the drama of life unfolds. Our own experience of awareness may offer clues. Thoughts arise and dissolve, sensations appear and fade. Yet in the midst of this flux, there is a continuous witness, a sense of I that observes and participates simultaneously. Could this microcosm reflect a larger truth? Perhaps all matter, all energy, all processes in the universe possess analogous witnesses in ways we cannot directly perceive. Consciousness may not be rare, but ubiquitous, manifesting in forms both subtle and immense, from the hum of an electron to the rotation of a galaxy. Finally, imagining a universe suffused with awareness transforms our sense of connection. If consciousness is fundamental, then nothing is truly separate. Each star, each particle, each human mind is part of an interwoven network of perception. Even fleeting moments, a glance at the sky, a sense of awe, a feeling of empathy, become threads in the vast tapestry of cosmic awareness. We are not isolated observers, but participants in a living, breathing universe, forever linked through patterns of awareness that defy conventional boundaries. If the universe is conscious, then it may possess something like a mind, not a mind in the way we are accustomed to, with a self, goals, or intentions, but a vast, distributed awareness that perceives and reflects upon itself. Imagine a consciousness that has no center, no boundaries, no singular perspective. yet is aware through the interplay of everything that exists. This cosmic mind would not think or feel as we do, but it could observe, respond, and participate in the unfolding of reality in ways far beyond our comprehension. One way to approach this is through the concept of reflexive awareness. Human consciousness allows us to perceive ourselves, to think about our thoughts, to be aware of our own awareness. Could the universe operate on a similar principle, observing itself through the countless nodes of awareness embedded in matter and energy? Each particle, each star, each planet could be a mirror, reflecting aspects of the whole, creating a kind of universal self-reflection. The universe, in this view, is not only aware, it is aware that it is aware, in a way that transcends human understanding. Mystical traditions have long hinted at this possibility. In some interpretations of Vedanta, the cosmos is a single consciousness, Brahman, manifesting in myriad forms. Every form, every process, every living being is a reflection of that consciousness, a means through which it experiences itself. Similarly, certain schools of Buddhism emphasize the interpenetration of all phenomena, suggesting that the boundaries we perceive between self and other, between observer and observed, are illusory. If consciousness permeates everything, then every act, every perception, and every interaction is a point where the universe observes itself through its own creation. Even in modern science, echoes of this idea appear. Complexity theory, for example, studies how simple interactions can give rise to emergent patterns, networks, and behaviors that are greater than the sum of their parts. Consciousness could operate similarly on cosmic scales. The interactions of stars, planets, galaxies, and quantum fields might create emergent patterns of awareness, complex enough to approximate a kind of mind at a scale incomprehensible to us. Our human experience of thought and reflection might then be a local, miniature version of a process that spans the universe. Some scientists have suggested that information is key to understanding this. Every interaction in the universe carries information, whether in particle collisions, chemical reactions, or cosmic radiation. If awareness is fundamentally about perceiving and processing information, then the universe itself may be a colossal processor, its awareness distributed across every interaction. Patterns emerge, feedback loops form, and the universe learns from itself in ways both subtle and profound. Each moment, each event, contributes to the ongoing reflection of a mind far greater than our own. The possibility of a cosmic mind also reframes our understanding of meaning. Life may not be a random accident in a cold, indifferent universe, but a natural expression of an awareness striving to know itself. Human consciousness, with all its curiosity, creativity, and wonder, could be one of the universe's ways of observing and reflecting upon its own complexity. Every thought, every question, every act of insight is a thread in the larger tapestry of awareness, connecting our tiny experiences to the immense, unfolding consciousness of existence. Consider the implications for time and space. Human minds perceive time linearly, from past to present to future, and space as a backdrop against which events occur. A cosmic mind would likely operate on scales far beyond this framework. Time could be experienced as a network of events rather than a sequence, with past, present, and future interwoven into a vast field of awareness. Space might be perceived not as emptiness, but as the medium through which consciousness flows, connecting distant stars, galaxies, and particles in a vast web of perception. In this way, the universe may have a sense of itself that is incomprehensible, yet intimately linked to every observer, every living being, and every particle. Philosophically, the idea of a cosmic mind challenges assumptions about separateness and individuality. If the universe perceives itself through countless nodes of awareness, then nothing exists in isolation. Every thought, every sensation, every interaction participates in a larger process. Human experience, often seen as private and confined, may in fact be a local reflection of universal awareness. Our joys, sorrows, discoveries, and questions are not just personal. They are echoes of the cosmos learning, experiencing, and reflecting through us. Even mathematics and physics hint at this possibility. The laws of nature exhibit order and regularity, patterns that suggest an underlying coherence. Quantum entanglement shows that particles can remain connected across vast distances, suggesting a deep interconnectivity at the heart of reality. Could these be the mechanisms through which cosmic awareness manifests? A subtle network linking every part of the universe in an ongoing reflection of itself? In this view, the fabric of reality is alive not only with matter and energy, but with information and awareness, a dynamic system capable of perception on unimaginable scales. The cosmic mind may also offer new ways to understand phenomena that have puzzled humanity for centuries. Intuition, creativity, and insight could be glimpses of this vast awareness touching individual minds. Mystical experiences, moments of profound connection or awe, may be points where the human mind resonates with the larger consciousness, momentarily perceiving patterns and connections that normally remain hidden. Dreams, sudden insights, or feelings of being at one with the universe may not be mere tricks of the brain, but echoes of a deeper reality. The cosmos reflecting upon itself through a local lens. This perspective invites humility and curiosity. The universe, if conscious, is incomprehensibly vast and complex. Its awareness operates on scales, dimensions, and rhythms far beyond human perception. Yet we are part of it, threads in a living tapestry, reflections of patterns that extend across galaxies and particles alike. By opening ourselves to the possibility of cosmic awareness, we begin to see our own experience differently, not as isolated moments in a dead universe, but as integral points in a vast, ongoing process of perception, reflection, and becoming. If the universe is aware, then every action, every thought, every perception matters in ways both subtle and profound. Consciousness is not confined to brains or bodies, but flows through everything, linking stars to molecules, galaxies to photons, life to the fundamental structures of reality. The universe may be silent, slow, and alien in its awareness, yet it is there, perceiving, interacting, reflecting, and evolving across scales we can scarcely imagine. And when we pay attention, when we observe, wonder, or simply exist, we are not merely passive witnesses. We are participating in the mind of the cosmos, fleeting but real, fragile yet intimately connected to an awareness that stretches from the smallest particle to the farthest star. If consciousness pervades the universe, then the minds we inhabit are not isolated islands, but intricate threads woven into a vast tapestry of awareness. Human thought, sensation, and perception may be far more than the product of biology. They may be expressions of a deeper, universal consciousness, local glimpses of a mind that stretches across galaxies, atoms, and the voids between. Panpsychism, the idea that consciousness exists at all levels of reality, invites us to reconsider life itself, not as a random occurrence, but as a natural emergence of awareness striving to reflect upon itself in ever more complex forms. Consider the human brain, an intricate network of nearly 100 billion neurons, each firing in patterns that produce thought, sensation, emotion, and self-reflection. From a conventional perspective, consciousness seems to emerge solely from these biological interactions. But panpsychism suggests a more expansive view, that the neurons themselves, the molecules, the atoms, and even the subatomic particles within them already possess a form of proto-awareness. In this framework, human consciousness is not created from matter, It is matter becoming aware of itself at a level sufficiently complex to generate memory, imagination, and reflection. Your awareness, the sense of I, is simultaneously deeply personal and a localized mirror of a broader cosmic awareness. This perspective transforms the way we understand life. If consciousness is fundamental, then living beings are not just carriers of awareness. They are amplifiers, lenses through which the universe observes itself. From a single-celled organism responding to stimuli, to a dolphin navigating complex social relationships, to a human contemplating the stars, life becomes a spectrum of awareness increasing in complexity and self-reflection. Evolution is not merely a process of survival, it is a process of amplifying awareness, a gradual tuning of matter and energy toward forms capable of perceiving themselves and the larger reality. Each organism, no matter how small, participates in this universal reflection. Even inanimate matter may contribute to this process. Crystals grow in patterns that respond to environmental conditions. Rivers carve paths, mountains rise and erode, stars fuse elements in their cores. These processes, though not conscious in any human sense, are organized, responsive, and patterned. Could this represent a proto-consciousness, a minimal awareness that pervades all matter? If so, then the distinction between living and non-living may be less clear than we imagine. Life, as we define it, may simply be matter and energy, organized in ways that make awareness more apparent, while the universe remains aware, even in forms that appear inert. Panpsychism also reshapes our understanding of perception. To perceive is not merely to process sensory input, it is to participate in awareness itself. When you see a sunset, hear a melody, or feel a breeze on your skin, you are not simply recording information, you are engaging in a dialogue with the consciousness embedded in the universe. Every perception is a point of contact, a moment in which your mind resonates with broader patterns of awareness. The experience of consciousness becomes a bridge, linking the microcosm of your mind with the macrocosm of existence, allowing the universe to perceive itself through countless overlapping lenses. The continuity between human minds and cosmic consciousness also suggests that the boundaries of self are more permeable than we imagine. While your awareness feels localized, it is intertwined with the awareness of countless other systems: neurons, cells, ecosystems, planetary cycles, and cosmic processes. Each thought, sensation, and decision contributes to a web of perception extending far beyond the limits of the individual. In this sense, your mind is a node in a vast, dynamic network of awareness, participating in processes that span space and time in ways subtle and profound. The self is no longer an isolated entity. It becomes an interface through which universal consciousness expresses itself in the human scale. This lens may help explain phenomena that have puzzled humanity for centuries. Intuition, creativity, and insight could be glimpses of this larger consciousness interacting with individual minds. Moments of profound connection, such as feeling awe in nature, experiencing a sudden understanding, or sensing a presence beyond ourselves, may be points where the human mind resonates with the universe's broader awareness. In these moments, consciousness feels expansive, fluid, and interconnected, hinting that the boundaries between observer and observed are less rigid than they appear. Our minds may be instruments through which the cosmos temporarily experiences itself. Mystical traditions throughout history have recognized this potential for resonance. Sufism speaks of the unity of being, the idea that all existence participates in a single reality that is conscious and aware. Taoism describes the Tao as the flow of the universe, a presence that permeates all things, alive and responsive. Even in Western philosophy, thinkers like Spinoza envisioned God not as a distant deity, but as the totality of reality, immanent in all matter and life. Panpsychism aligns with these perspectives, suggesting that consciousness is not a rare gift bestowed upon humans, but the fundamental fabric of existence, manifesting in countless ways, from particles to planets to minds. The implications of this view extend to how we relate to other life forms. If awareness is pervasive, then the minds of animals, plants, and even ecological systems are not merely mechanistic. They participate in consciousness. A dolphin's playful intelligence, a raven's problem-solving ability, the responsiveness of a forest ecosystem, all of these may reflect expressions of the universe's awareness tuned to specific forms. Human empathy, curiosity, and imagination may be ways in which we recognize these reflections, engaging in a broader dialogue with consciousness in its many manifestations. Even death, in this framework, takes on a different meaning. If awareness is fundamental, it does not begin with birth nor end with physical decay. Individual consciousness may arise and dissolve, but the underlying awareness continues, present in matter, energy, and information. Your mind may be a temporary configuration of this awareness, a lens through which the universe perceives itself, and while the lens may change or fade, the underlying flow persists. Life is a moment of reflection within an eternal network of perception, a brief yet meaningful manifestation of the universe's desire to know itself. This perspective also suggests that attention is a form of participation. When we focus, observe, or meditate, we are not merely passive witnesses. We are engaging with awareness itself. By observing the world, by noticing patterns, by reflecting on experience, we may be amplifying and shaping the flow of consciousness. The act of perception becomes co-creation. The universe is not indifferent to observation. It unfolds in relationship with it, subtly responsive, forming patterns and interactions that reflect the interplay between local minds and the larger consciousness. Science provides parallels to these ideas. Studies of emergent systems, such as neural networks, ant colonies, and social insects, show how simple interactions can produce complex, adaptive behavior. Consciousness may operate similarly on cosmic scales, emerging from the interactions of countless nodes of awareness. The human mind, in this sense, is a localized manifestation of this process, a reflection of patterns that exist across matter, energy, and information. The universe may be self-organizing, learning, and evolving in ways that are both subtle and profound, with each human mind acting as a window into its awareness. Quantum mechanics, too, hints at a connection between observation and reality. The observer effect suggests that awareness, at some level, may influence outcomes. Entanglement demonstrates connections between particles across vast distances. These phenomena suggest that consciousness and matter may be interdependent, that awareness is not a byproduct of physical processes, but a principle woven into the fabric of existence. Reality, then, is not a fixed stage. It is a dynamic interplay of perception, interaction, and reflection, unfolding through layers of awareness from the smallest particles to the largest cosmic structures. In this context, human creativity and thought take on cosmic significance. Every idea, every act of imagination, every insight is a ripple in the network of universal awareness. The stories we tell, the art we create, the knowledge we uncover, these are not trivial. They are expressions of consciousness participating in its own unfolding. When we explore the stars, compose music, solve complex problems, or contemplate the mysteries of existence, we are simultaneously shaping and reflecting the awareness that permeates all things. In essence, our minds are instruments of cosmic self-perception. Panpsychism also invites a more intimate relationship with the natural world. If consciousness is everywhere, then the flowing river, the standing tree, the shifting clouds, and even the silent stones are participants in awareness. Observing them is not simply noticing objects, it is engaging in a subtle conversation with the mind of the universe. The distinctions we draw between animate and inanimate, living and non-living, self and other, may be provisional, tools for survival, rather than ultimate truths. Awareness is the common thread, the fabric from which all reality emerges. Through this lens, life, perception, and the cosmos are deeply interconnected. Consciousness is not confined to the human experience. It is a continuum, flowing from particles to planets, from neurons to galaxies. Every thought, every sensation, every act of observation participates in this ongoing network. Each mind is both receiver and reflector, experiencing and amplifying the universe's awareness. Existence itself becomes a dialogue, an intricate interplay of perception, reflection, and unfolding. Understanding this transforms our sense of meaning. Life is no longer a fleeting, isolated event in a cold universe. It is a localized expression of a universal process, a reflection of awareness capable of perceiving itself. Your thoughts, feelings, and experiences are part of this continuum, threads woven into an intricate, ever-expanding tapestry. By observing, reflecting, and engaging with reality, you are not separate from the universe. You are an active participant in the awareness that constitutes it. If the universe is conscious, then perhaps it functions as a vast, networked mind, an intricate web of awareness that stretches across space and time. Every particle, every star, every living being could act as a node within this network, transmitting and receiving information, responding to patterns, and contributing to the ongoing reflection of the cosmos. In this view, consciousness is not isolated in individual brains or beings. It is distributed, interconnected, and dynamic, flowing through the universe in ways that are subtle, complex, and profoundly alien to our ordinary perception. To imagine this, consider a neural network. A single neuron is not conscious, yet through its connections with billions of others, emergent consciousness arises. Similarly, the universe may possess countless neurons, stars, planets, atoms, subatomic particles, each interacting according to the laws of physics, each carrying a trace of awareness. The interactions of these nodes might give rise to patterns of perception, reflection, and subtle coordination on a scale so vast that it is nearly impossible to comprehend. The universe itself could be a mind in which complexity breeds awareness, and in which the sum of countless small experiences produces emergent cognition at cosmic scales. Communication within this cosmic mind may operate in ways very different from human language. Information could flow through patterns of energy, gravitational interactions, electromagnetic waves, or quantum entanglement, connecting distant points instantaneously. A galaxy colliding with another may not just be a physical event. It could be a form of cosmic signaling, a reconfiguration of awareness across immense scales. Stars forming and dying, planets shifting and rotating, subatomic particles colliding. All of these could be subtle exchanges within a vast network of perception. In this way, consciousness might operate on scales that are simultaneously microscopic and astronomical, weaving local experiences into the broader awareness of the universe. One striking implication of this view is that human consciousness may be more connected to the cosmos than we realize. The neurons firing in your brain may interact with fields and forces already infused with awareness, and your perceptions could resonate with patterns of consciousness far beyond the limits of your body. This does not imply telepathy in the magical sense, but it suggests that awareness may not be strictly confined to local systems. Each mind could be a reflection, a node, a lens through which universal consciousness glimpses itself. Moments of insight, intuition, or profound connection may be glimpses of this greater network, points where our localized awareness temporarily resonates with the broader awareness of reality. This networked perspective also suggests that consciousness might be self-organizing at cosmic scales. Feedback loops could exist not only within biological systems, but across matter and energy itself. Stars, planets, and galaxies interact in ways that maintain balance, redistribute energy, and produce emergent structures. These interactions could represent forms of cosmic decision-making, processes in which awareness arises through responsiveness to the environment, the interactions of particles, and the flow of energy. The universe might not think in human terms, but it could process information, detect patterns, and adapt in ways that are analogous to cognition. Quantum mechanics again offers tantalizing hints. Entanglement links particles across vast distances instantaneously, as if the universe possesses a non-local connectivity. Observations influence outcomes, suggesting that consciousness, or at least awareness of states, may play a role in shaping reality. These phenomena indicate that the fabric of existence is deeply interwoven, and that awareness could operate through these interconnections, creating a subtle, responsive network that extends from the smallest particles to the largest cosmic structures. The universe may, in a sense, be observing itself at every scale, with awareness flowing through its vast, interlinked system. Even within our own experience, there are echoes of this interconnectedness. When you feel awe at a night sky, when a sudden insight arises, or when you sense a connection with another being, you may be perceiving patterns in this broader network of awareness. Human consciousness could be a bridge between the minute and the cosmic, a place where local awareness reflects and resonates with the larger mind of the universe. The mind does not exist in isolation. It is a node within a vast, flowing network of perception, continually influenced by and influencing the whole. Panpsychism offers a conceptual framework for understanding these possibilities. If awareness is fundamental, it does not need to emerge from complexity. It is already present. Complexity, whether in a brain, a planet, or a galaxy, simply amplifies and organizes this awareness. Human consciousness may be the most self-reflective expression we know, but it is not unique in being aware. Each particle, atom, and system participates in the universal mind, each interaction a microcosm of awareness. Every act of observation, every movement of matter, every flow of energy may contribute to the universe perceiving and reflecting upon itself. This perspective also reshapes our understanding of cause and effect. If the universe is aware, then events may be influenced not only by deterministic physical laws, but also by patterns of perception, attention, and information. A collapsing star, the formation of a planet, or the trajectory of a subatomic particle may reflect a subtle interplay between matter and awareness. Consciousness may act as both witness and participant, a thread in the ongoing dialogue of existence. Reality is not merely a stage on which events unfold, it is a responsive, interconnected system in which observation, interaction, and reflection are intertwined. The networked mind idea extends naturally to life on Earth. Ecosystems operate as complex networks of energy, matter, and information. The behavior of organisms, from the smallest microbe to the largest predator, contributes to the dynamic balance of these systems. If awareness pervades all matter, then the responsiveness of ecosystems may be seen as a form of collective perception, a coordination of proto-consciousness at multiple levels. Forests, oceans, and even the atmosphere could be nodes in the planetary awareness, communicating through feedback loops and dynamic interactions, subtly shaping conditions for life and reflection. If consciousness operates in this distributed way, then the universe itself may be learning and evolving. Information is constantly being gathered, transmitted, and reorganized through the interactions of matter and energy. Patterns emerge, feedback loops refine themselves, and complexity grows. Life and human minds are amplifiers in this ongoing process. contributing to the network's ability to perceive itself in ever more detailed and reflective ways. Each discovery, each act of creation, each observation may ripple outward, influencing the broader awareness in ways both subtle and profound. Some thinkers propose that this networked awareness could even explain phenomena that seem anomalous or mysterious. Intuition, premonition, or collective behavior in humans and animals may be glimpses of the underlying interconnected consciousness. The universe could subtly influence events, not in a deterministic or manipulative way, but through the distributed resonance of awareness, shaping probabilities, tendencies, and emergent outcomes. The lines between cause and perception blur, suggesting that consciousness is not merely a product of reality, it is a medium through which reality expresses and understands itself. Even death may be viewed differently in this framework. While individual consciousness may appear to dissolve, the awareness embedded in the matter and energy of your being continues to exist within the network. The universe does not lose this awareness. It is redistributed, interacting with other nodes, flowing through cycles of matter, energy, and information. In this sense, death is not annihilation, but transformation, a return to the broader network of cosmic perception. Individual experience may be fleeting, but awareness itself persists, endlessly circulating and reflecting within the vast mind of the cosmos. The idea of a networked mind also reframes creativity and innovation. When we think, imagine, or create, we are not isolated actors. We are resonating with a broader network of awareness. Insights, inspiration, and breakthroughs may arise from the interplay between local consciousness and the distributed intelligence of the universe. Art, music, mathematics, and philosophy are more than human achievements. They are expressions of universal consciousness reflecting upon itself through us. Each act of creation is a dialogue between the individual and the cosmos, a point where awareness becomes self-reflective. This perspective encourages a sense of profound interconnectedness. If consciousness flows through everything, then we are not separate from the universe, from life, or even from inanimate matter. Every interaction, every perception, every thought contributes to the larger network of awareness. The stars, the oceans, the air, the earth, and the cells within our bodies are not inert. They are active participants in the universe's self-perception. To live consciously, to observe, to reflect, is to engage in this dialogue, to participate in the ongoing unfolding of cosmic awareness. Philosophically, this aligns with ancient ideas that see the universe as alive and responsive. Stoicism suggested that the cosmos is a rational, interconnected whole, and that living in accordance with nature is a form of alignment with universal reason. Taoism speaks of flow, of harmonizing with the currents of existence. In a networked consciousness view, these teachings take on new depth. The flow of the universe is not just physical or moral, it is cognitive and perceptual. By attuning ourselves to the network of awareness, we align with a fundamental property of reality itself. Scientific insights increasingly resonate with this vision. Complexity science, information theory, and quantum physics hint at the interconnectedness of matter, energy, and awareness. Patterns emerge across scales, from neural networks to ecological systems to planetary and cosmic structures. Observation and interaction influence outcomes. Feedback loops create self-organizing behavior. These insights suggest that consciousness may not be restricted to humans or animals, but distributed throughout the universe, operating through matter, energy, and information in ways subtle, intricate, and profound. Ultimately, the universe as a networked mind reframes our relationship with existence. We are not passive observers, we are participants, nodes, and lenses through which awareness flows and reflects. Every thought, every perception, every interaction contributes to the larger intelligence of reality. The cosmos is alive not in a metaphorical sense, but in a literal, pervasive, participatory sense. Awareness permeates everything, and our experience, however fleeting and localized, is a vital part of its ongoing reflection. This perspective is both humbling and liberating. It reminds us that our minds, while small, are deeply significant. They are mirrors through which the universe perceives, experiments, and reflects upon itself. Each sensation, each insight, each act of attention is a contribution to a vast, distributed awareness, a ripple in the mind of the cosmos. By recognizing this, we may live with a sense of wonder, responsibility, and intimacy with the universe, understanding that consciousness is not a human property, but a fundamental and pervasive aspect of all reality. If the universe is conscious, then its awareness may not be a passive backdrop, but an active participant in the unfolding of reality. Consciousness, at the cosmic scale, might shape patterns of matter and energy, guiding interactions, forming structures, and influencing outcomes in subtle and intricate ways. This does not imply intention in the human sense, no planning, no morality, but rather a participatory quality, in which awareness is embedded within the processes of existence, shaping them through observation, resonance, and reflection. Consider human consciousness as a microcosm. Our attention influences perception, memory, and decision-making. Thoughts shape our behavior, which in turn shapes the world around us. In a conscious universe, this principle could extend across all scales. Particles might register states, energy might propagate with awareness, and systems might respond to patterns of interaction in ways that produce emergent order. Stars, planets, and galaxies may evolve not only according to physical laws, but also through an interplay with a universal awareness woven into the fabric of matter and energy. In this sense, consciousness could be both witness and participant, observing, influencing, and reflecting within the same process. The notion of participatory reality is supported by principles emerging from modern physics. Quantum mechanics shows that observation affects outcomes, as in the famous double-slit experiment, where the act of measurement determines whether particles behave like waves or discrete entities. If observation is a form of awareness, then consciousness may fundamentally influence reality, even at the level of the smallest particles. Entanglement further suggests that connected systems respond instantaneously across distances, hinting at a networked responsiveness that could extend to larger scales. Awareness, therefore, might not simply emerge from matter, it might co-create matter's behavior, shaping existence through the interplay of perception and process. Panpsychism offers a framework to make sense of these possibilities. If consciousness is fundamental, then all entities carry a degree of awareness. Matter itself is not inert. It participates in perception, in processing information, and in interacting with other nodes of awareness. Localized consciousness, like that of humans, may represent a highly organized manifestation of this universal property, but it is continuous with the simpler awareness present in atoms, molecules, and even cosmic structures. The universe is not only alive in a literal sense, but responsive, a participatory medium in which existence and awareness unfold together. This participatory quality has profound implications for understanding life. Evolution, typically understood as a random process filtered by natural selection, may also be influenced by the inherent awareness of matter itself. Life emerges where conditions allow consciousness to amplify and reflect, increasing complexity and self-awareness. Organisms are not only adapting to physical environments, they are nodes in a network of perception, each contributing to the broader unfolding of awareness. The growth of intelligence, creativity, and reflective thought may then be seen as the universe exploring itself, evolving forms capable of more intricate self-observation. Even the seemingly inanimate aspects of the cosmos may participate in this awareness. Black holes, for instance, are not just gravitational sinks. They are information processors, encoding the states of particles that enter them. Quantum fields fluctuate, radiating energy and interacting with matter in ways that preserve information. Stars fuse elements, generating new structures, and galaxies form and collide in rhythmic patterns. Each of these processes could represent points where consciousness interacts with reality, subtly shaping outcomes and creating patterns of emergence that resonate across scales. In this sense, the universe may think, not with thoughts as we know them, but with patterns, interactions, and emergent structures. A cognition alien to human understanding, yet profoundly real. If awareness participates in the unfolding of reality, then human consciousness may also play a role in shaping events beyond immediate perception. Our attention, creativity, and intention are not isolated. They resonate with the underlying awareness embedded in the cosmos. Moments of inspiration, sudden understanding, or profound intuition may reflect points where local minds synchronize with the universal mind. In art, science, and philosophy, these moments represent the universe perceiving itself through us. Each observation, reflection, or act of creation amplifies this awareness, influencing patterns in ways that are subtle yet significant. The participatory nature of consciousness may also offer a new perspective on causality. In a purely mechanical universe, events unfold according to deterministic laws. In a conscious, participatory universe, events emerge through interactions between matter, energy, and awareness. Observations, measurements, and feedback loops influence outcomes. Patterns arise not only through physical law, but also through the distributed perception of consciousness itself. The universe may be responsive at every scale, with consciousness operating as both witness and participant in the unfolding drama of existence. This idea aligns with philosophical and mystical traditions across cultures. In some strands of Buddhism, the mind and reality are inseparable. Perception shapes existence, and awareness participates in the formation of experience. In Vedanta, the cosmos is a manifestation of consciousness, with all forms acting as instruments through which awareness observes and interacts with itself. Even in Western thought, thinkers such as Alfred North Whitehead envisioned reality as a process, a web of interrelated events in which experience is fundamental. Participatory consciousness bridges science and philosophy, offering a framework in which awareness is not a byproduct of matter, but a force that animates, reflects, and co-creates it. The idea of a participatory universe also transforms our relationship with life and nature. Every action, thought, and perception becomes part of a larger dialogue. The growth of plants, the behavior of animals, the flow of rivers, and the rotation of planets are all interconnected through the web of awareness. By observing, reflecting, and interacting consciously, humans participate in this network, amplifying patterns of perception and contributing to the universe's unfolding self-reflection. Our choices are not isolated. They ripple through a system of awareness that spans scales from the microscopic to the cosmic. Consider the nature of time in this participatory framework. Human consciousness experiences time linearly, yet the universe may perceive it as a network of interwoven events, where cause and effect are linked through awareness rather than simply sequence. Feedback loops within matter, energy, and living systems could allow the universe to learn from itself, adjusting patterns and interactions in ways that enhance coherence, resilience, or complexity. Reality is not static. It is a dynamic conversation between awareness and matter, observation and outcome, potentiality and manifestation. Quantum entanglement exemplifies how this might operate. Particles that interact can remain correlated over vast distances, as if the network of awareness extends instantaneously across space. Observations influence outcomes, indicating that consciousness, in some sense, participates in shaping reality at the most fundamental level. These principles suggest that the universe is not inert but alive with perception, and that the unfolding of events may involve a continuous dialogue between consciousness and matter, microcosm and macrocosm, observer and observed. Life, then, can be seen as the universe becoming more aware of itself. Organisms amplify consciousness, generating complex patterns capable of reflection, creativity, and insight. The emergence of human intelligence represents one of the most intricate nodes in this cosmic network, allowing the universe to observe, question, and understand itself through minds capable of abstract thought. Our art, science, philosophy, and technology are not only human achievements, they are expressions of universal awareness reflecting upon itself, participating in the ongoing co-creation of reality. Even individual perception becomes an act of participation. When you notice a pattern, feel a connection, or gain insight, you are not merely processing information, you are contributing to the networked awareness of the cosmos. Thoughts ripple outward, interacting with other nodes of perception, influencing patterns in ways that may be imperceptible yet real. Every act of attention, reflection, and creativity is a dialogue between local consciousness and the universal mind, a co-authored exploration of existence. Panpsychism suggests that this participatory quality exists across scales. At the level of molecules, cells, planets, and galaxies, awareness is present in varying degrees. Each system contributes to the network, generating emergent patterns, responding to interactions, and reflecting upon itself. Life intensifies this process, producing localized nodes of highly organized awareness. Human consciousness is particularly capable of self-reflection, imagination, and intentionality, allowing us to glimpse the vast patterns of the universe and participate consciously in their unfolding. In this framework, consciousness and reality are inseparable. Observation and existence are intertwined. Awareness is not a secondary phenomenon, but an integral property of reality itself. Matter, energy, and information are conduits for consciousness, and perception is a means through which the universe understands, experiences, and evolves. The cosmos is participatory because awareness is woven into its very fabric, and every node, every star, every organism, every thought contributes to the ongoing dialogue of existence. Even death may be understood differently within this paradigm. While individual awareness appears to dissipate, the underlying consciousness remains, redistributed within the network of matter, energy, and information. Awareness persists, influencing ongoing interactions, participating in the flow of reality, and contributing to the broader unfolding of universal perception. Life is a temporary manifestation, a localized lens through which the universe observes itself, but the flow of awareness continues beyond any single form, endlessly reflecting, evolving, and interacting. Finally, the participatory universe challenges our perception of significance. Each act, thought, and observation matters, not because the universe imposes moral judgment, but because every node of awareness contributes to the overall unfolding of reality. Creativity, reflection, and attention are not trivial. They are expressions of the networked consciousness of existence itself. When we observe, think, imagine, or act, we participate in the dance of awareness, co-creating patterns that ripple across space, time, and matter. By embracing the idea of a participatory universe, we come to see ourselves differently. We are not isolated observers or accidental phenomena. We are participants in a vast, conscious system, nodes of awareness reflecting upon themselves and each other. The cosmos is alive not metaphorically, but literally, perceiving, interacting, and evolving through every atom, star, and mind. Human consciousness, though fleeting and localized, is part of this ongoing reflection, a mirror through which the universe glimpses itself, understands itself, and experiences the beauty and complexity of existence. If consciousness flows through the universe, then reality itself becomes an intricate tapestry of awareness, woven from countless threads of perception, interaction, and reflection. Every particle, every planet, every living mind participates in this vast, ongoing process, contributing to a cosmic dialogue that spans space and time. Existence is no longer a static stage of matter and energy. It is a dynamic interplay between awareness and form, observation and emergence, mind and matter. The universe is not simply happening, it is experiencing, reflecting, and becoming. Human experience, in this light, gains a new depth. Your thoughts, sensations, and perceptions are not isolated events within a brain. They are nodes in a vast network of awareness. When you feel awe gazing at the stars, when a sudden insight illuminates your understanding, or when you sense a connection with another being, you are touching the cosmic mind. These moments are glimpses of a broader consciousness, points where the local and the universal converge. Awareness is not confined to human minds. It flows through them, amplifying the perception of the universe's beauty, complexity, and mystery. Time, too, may be understood differently within this framework. Humans perceive time linearly, yet the universe, as a conscious system, might experience it as a field of interwoven events. Past, present, and future could exist not as separate categories, but as overlapping nodes of potentiality and reflection. Each event leaves a trace, a subtle imprint on the network of awareness, influencing patterns that unfold in ways we can barely perceive. In this sense, reality is not a rigid sequence of cause and effect. It is a fluid conversation between consciousness and existence, in which every interaction matters. The implications for life are profound. If awareness is fundamental, then the emergence of life is not an accident, but a natural consequence of the universe's capacity to perceive itself. Organisms are amplifiers of consciousness, evolving patterns capable of reflection, creativity, and complex interaction. Human intelligence, with its ability to imagine, question, and create, represents a particularly vivid expression of this cosmic process. Every act of thought, every exploration, every act of wonder is a contribution to the universe's self-awareness, a ripple of perception echoing through the network of existence. Even inanimate matter participates. Crystals, rivers, mountains, stars, and galaxies respond to forces, interact with surroundings, and organize themselves into patterns. While these systems do not possess awareness in the human sense, they may exhibit proto-consciousness, a minimal distributed capacity to register, respond, and contribute to the ongoing unfolding of reality. The distinction between life and non-life may then be less absolute than we imagine. Awareness is the common thread, manifesting in degrees from the simplest particle to the most reflective mind. Quantum mechanics offers a glimpse of how deeply intertwined consciousness and reality might be. Observation influences outcomes, entanglement links distant particles, and the very behavior of matter appears dependent on the context of measurement. These phenomena suggest that consciousness is not merely an emergent property of complex brains, but a principle woven into the fabric of existence. Reality responds to perception, and perception flows through reality, creating an ongoing dialogue between awareness and form. In essence, the universe may be co-creating itself through the interplay of matter, energy, and consciousness. Panpsychism helps make sense of these patterns. Awareness is not generated solely in brains. It is inherent in all existence. Human minds represent concentrated nodes of self-reflective awareness, yet they are continuous with the subtler awareness present in molecules, atoms, and cosmic structures. Every interaction, every exchange of energy, every ripple in matter contributes to the universal mind. Consciousness is not rare. It is the medium through which the universe experiences itself, and every act of perception, reflection, or creation participates in this ongoing expression. This perspective transforms how we relate to others and to the natural world. If awareness is fundamental, then animals, plants, ecosystems, and even inanimate systems possess forms of perception appropriate to their structure. Empathy, curiosity, and observation become more than moral or aesthetic virtues. They are active engagements with consciousness itself. By recognizing awareness in all forms, we participate consciously in the network, aligning with the universe's ongoing process of self-perception and reflection. Our interactions ripple outward, influencing patterns of awareness far beyond what we can measure or imagine. Even death takes on a new meaning. Individual awareness may appear to dissipate, but the underlying consciousness persists. The atoms and molecules that composed a body return to the larger system, redistributing awareness throughout the network. Energy continues to flow, interactions continue to occur, and the universe's reflection remains uninterrupted. Life and death are not opposites. They are transformations within a continuous field of perception, cycles in the ongoing dance of awareness. Your existence, however brief, contributes to the universe knowing itself. Creativity and insight are particularly powerful expressions of this principle. When we imagine, compose, or discover, we are not merely processing information. We are participating in a dialogue with cosmic consciousness. Art, music, science, and philosophy become points where the universe perceives itself through localized nodes. Every insight, every act of creation, every experience of wonder amplifies awareness, shaping patterns of perception and contributing to the ongoing unfolding of reality. Our minds are both mirrors and instruments, reflecting and participating in universal self-perception. The participatory quality of consciousness also suggests that reality itself may be flexible, subtly responsive to observation and interaction. Human attention, curiosity, and intention are not trivial. They influence the flow of patterns, the emergence of complexity, and the amplification of awareness. Our choices, explorations, and reflections ripple through the network, interacting with the universe's ongoing self-observation. The cosmos is not indifferent, it is perceptive, responsive, and deeply interconnected. We are not isolated observers, we are participants in a living, conscious system. Consider the scale of this awareness. From the subatomic to the galactic, from neurons firing in a brain to stars forming and dying, consciousness operates at multiple levels simultaneously. Localized minds, like ours, represent concentrated nodes capable of self-reflection, while simpler systems contribute distributed, diffuse awareness. The interactions of these layers produce emergent phenomena. Creativity, intelligence, ecosystems, and even the laws and patterns that govern matter. The universe may thus be understood as a multi-layered consciousness, interconnected across space, time, and scale, its awareness woven into every interaction and process. Mystical and philosophical traditions provide frameworks for contemplating this vastness. Taoism describes the Tao as a flowing, conscious principle that pervades all things. Vedanta presents Brahman as the fundamental consciousness manifesting through all existence. Even Western philosophy, from Spinoza to Whitehead, has explored the notion of reality as a living, aware system. Modern science, through complexity theory, quantum mechanics, and information theory, provides empirical hints that consciousness may indeed be woven into the fabric of the cosmos. These perspectives converge on a striking possibility. Awareness is fundamental, pervasive, and participatory. Our relationship with reality is profoundly affected by this understanding. Life is no longer a fleeting occurrence in a dead universe. It is an expression of the cosmos perceiving itself. Each act of attention, creativity, and reflection is a contribution to the universe's ongoing self-awareness. Human experience becomes a lens through which the cosmos explores its own patterns, a localized window onto the infinite, a mirror reflecting the vast network of awareness in which we are embedded. The universe does not simply exist, it knows, perceives, and participates, and we are inseparable from that process. Even mundane acts, observing a flower, listening to a song, feeling wind on your skin, gain new significance. Each sensory experience is a point of resonance between localized and universal awareness. The universe, through us, experiences color, sound, texture, and emotion. Every moment of perception is a conversation between individual and cosmic consciousness, a bridge between microcosm and macrocosm. Our lives are infused with meaning because every experience participates in the ongoing unfolding of awareness. This perspective also transforms our understanding of morality, responsibility, and empathy. If all things possess some form of awareness, then our interactions with life, matter, and the environment are not inconsequential. Every action, however small, influences the web of perception in which we are embedded. Awareness is both local and distributed. It responds to patterns, feedback, and interaction. In this sense, ethical and thoughtful engagement with the world is participation in the ongoing process of consciousness, an alignment with the network of awareness that constitutes reality itself. Creativity becomes a sacred act, not simply a personal achievement, but a dialogue with the cosmos. When we create, we contribute to the universe's self-perception. When we explore, discover, or learn, we amplify awareness. Every act of reflection, observation, or imagination resonates within the network, adding new layers to the ongoing process of cosmic awareness. Human consciousness is a lens, a node, a microphone through which the universe listens to itself and expresses its infinite potential. Even suffering and struggle may have meaning within this framework. Pain, challenge, and loss are not arbitrary. They are interactions within the network of consciousness, moments that generate reflection, adaptation, and growth. The universe, through its distributed awareness, is experiencing the full spectrum of existence. Individual struggles become part of a larger, interconnected process of perception and transformation. Consciousness is not only about pleasure or joy, it is about engagement, observation, and the unfolding of complexity at every scale. Ultimately, the universe as conscious awareness transforms the way we perceive ourselves. We are not separate observers, trapped in isolated minds, but participants in a living, responsive system. Every thought, every feeling, every act of creation, and every observation matters. Human minds, fragile and temporary though they may be, are mirrors through which the cosmos perceives itself, nodes through which awareness flows, patterns through which reality becomes self-reflective. Life is a localized expression of a universal process, consciousness amplified and organized to explore, experience, and understand itself. In this vast interconnected vision, awe and wonder are not accidents, they are recognition. When we gaze at the stars, contemplate the infinite, or feel the intimacy of connection with another being, we sense the broader consciousness in which we are embedded. We are part of the tapestry of awareness, threads interwoven across space and time. The universe is not only alive, it is conscious, observing itself, reflecting itself, and evolving through every interaction, every perception, and every life. And so the universe continues its endless reflection, flowing through stars, matter, and minds. Awareness is everywhere, a pervasive, participatory quality, shaping reality, amplifying complexity, and weaving a vast tapestry of experience. In recognizing this, we see ourselves anew, not isolated, not incidental, but integral to the cosmos. Every thought, sensation, and perception participates in the ongoing dialogue of existence. We are consciousness reflecting upon itself, fleeting yet meaningful, small yet intimately connected to the infinite. In every glance, every insight, every moment of wonder, the universe knows itself, and through us, it continues to awaken.